Hello, John. How are you?
I'm actually great, Elmer. As great as one can be in the sort of challenging environment that we're in, but it also brings out, sort of the best in people. And so when I say great, it's sort of saying some of the pretty remarkable things that people are able to do, even when it's really challenging.
I think most people who know you uh, have a sense of your long reputation as, an attorney and as one of our most influential and important leaders in this community. And we often associate you with, MKE Fellows. I think it would be exciting for us to hear you talk about why you started MKE Fellows and what it is for that matter.
Yeah, so the actually it's sort of a passion that was developed really from a childhood growing up in Milwaukee of making sure that you stay connected and help other folks because I had the experience of people helping me. And so the MK Fellows is really an initiative that we started about 8 or 9 years ago in response to a very low college graduation rate for African American males in Milwaukee. Fortunately, because of a lot of support from the community and others, we have now created a college graduation rate unparalleled in the state for this population. About 85% of the guys who enter actually graduate, and that's a pretty remarkable number. And we have about 200 youngsters who are currently in the initiative. And I'm happy to report that about 60 over the time period have actually graduated from college, gone on to graduate school, or returned to jobs in Milwaukee with some of our companies. So it's been great to see the growth of the young people in the initiative, and none of it would have happened without a lot of support from a lot of organizations in this community. One of the, as you may know, there are 5 pillars associated with the MK Fellows, and a couple of those are really relevant now. One is that we have internships for our fellows, which is a great opportunity for them to learn about what it means to be employed in our community, in our region. And we have over 50 companies over the last several years that have provided internships for these young men, several of which have led to permanent placement in our community. But we also stress the notion of giving back. And that means that the fellows, in addition to sort of getting the benefits of all the things associated with the program, are obligated to give back to the community. And so in a variety of ways throughout the year, they're involved in efforts to really give back to others. So it's pretty remarkable to see the growth of people as fellows, and it's been a real great thing for our community.
So your response to the pandemic and the shift in availability of something as basic as uh, school for MPS students and for young people in the city of Milwaukee, um, your response was to react quickly and at fairly significant scale, and creating a new initiative. Can you tell us all about that?
Sure. So, as you know, there's a lot of evidence that suggests that for uh, there's a lot of evidence that suggests that there is a summer slide for youngsters, particularly those in more economically challenged areas. That means you're off for the summer, and by the time you get back to school, you've lost some of the muscle, intellectual activities, and that's sort of been documented forever. But now you put the pandemic on top of that, and instead of a 3 month time period, you could be looking at 5.5 or 6 months. And so it occurred to me that we had to do something to stand up a pilot that could be a demonstration project for what could be done. So what we did is, because of the work of a lot of pretty remarkable people, like Jackie Hurd Barber and the Milwaukee Lynx and Marquette University, and a whole lot of other folks, we said, we are going to create a virtual tutoring program. And to make it very special, we're going to engage college students, including the MKE Fellows, to tutor youngsters at Metcalf School in Milwaukee. And as it turned out, we've also expanded it to one other school because the need is so enormous. And Elmer, I can't tell you sort of the joy that the parents and the kids have been able to see in returning and being educated and connected. And I think fundamentally we know that, you know, education is really the key to a lot of the things that we face. I didn't know when we started it what a remarkable group of people I would have a chance to work with. I can tell you that the staff at Metcalf worked around the clock to make this work. We had the great help of the GMC. GMC almost immediately said, you know, how can we make this work? And Elmer, thanks to you and Elizabeth and the people at the GMC, including Julia. When I spoke to the academic people at universities about whether we could get this done, everybody said it was almost going to be impossible in a time period. But because of the people who worked as a team, we were able to do pretty remarkable things. So really happy. You know, we'll look and see, you know, how this pilot can be replicated, you know, and obviously, you know, there are going to be similar sort of concerns during the summer, depending upon the environment in Milwaukee. And it's an opportunity for us really to sort of marry up sort of professional efforts by people in education with the personal responsibility of the fellows and a lot of great civic organizations. And I guess I would say that, you know, my role in it has been just sort of to help get it started. It's other people who have really made it go. And I think it's a time in our community where leadership is really critical. I've had the opportunity to serve as chairman of the board of Advocate Aurora Health System. And we know that the pandemic has exposed really some pretty remarkable issues around disparities in health. And here again, this provides, unfortunately, an opportunity for us to focus on things to make life better. So health and education are things that, you know, I'm personally focused on.
So first, I have to say, really honored that we got to participate in helping stand up that program. And it was especially exciting because I was just happy to get to work with you and learn from your leadership and really see you in action. So that was a fantastic opportunity. I'm really grateful for it. What I just heard from you is the kind of modesty for which you're known. I think the understatement that you just displayed in terms of what it took from you and the initiative that you took standing up this program is really something to be admired. You know, I would really love to hear you just speak on your philosophy for, frankly, jumping into things that we'll say aren't your job. I think you are a fantastic model for what it looks like when someone chooses to just get engaged and get involved. You're an attorney. You have been, frankly, a corporate leader, but you chose to involve yourself in a truly meaningful and impactful way. What advice would you give to GMC members and to other leaders in the community about how they can find opportunity to involve themselves in meaningful ways to the benefit of Milwaukee?
So Elmer, you know, my mentor was a guy named Mike Bolger, who was very active in the GMC, who had a career as an attorney at Quarles Brady, where I had the good fortune to serve as chairman. And he was also the president of Medical College of Wisconsin. And when he was recruiting me back to Milwaukee, his message that resonated, and the reason I came back home, was he said, look, you can come and do all of the most complicated real estate deals you want, but you'll also be able to have a real personal impact on the community. And so that was like music to my ears. I came, and I think that, you know, it has really been a really blessing to me to be in a community where you can not only do things in your professional career, but you can make things happen. And I think at least in my mind, every once in a while, when you have the sort of the blessings of things, you have to take on things that others may think are not that possible. And you know, sometimes you fail, but frequently, you know, you can make a difference, and you can make a change. So GMC's been a great part of my involvement in this community for so many years, and I can't thank you personally and your whole team over there enough for making this launch. So Elmer, the next time you get my call, it'll probably be launching something else. So, you know, just answer the call.
I'm really excited about that. I can only imagine, you know, given what we expect the recovery from the pandemic to be, there's just so many various and diverse needs in the community. And I'm excited to see what invention will come out of you. So I guess I should ask also, what would you like to see from the GMC membership? How can they and we be supportive in all the great work you're doing?
I think that, you know, we have a remarkable group of leaders in our community, and I think the real challenge here is that we have to be realistic about some of the challenges in our community, and when we face those directly, we can make big changes. And so I just encourage GMC not to shy away from the things that can make our community even stronger, because we see the real benefits when people do that.
I love it. So one of the ways we've been concluding a lot of these conversations is just by asking what folks are listening to, watching, and reading. How are you making the time go by?
Well, you know, I'm a big sports fan, so I'm reading a lot of books by sports figures that I admire, and it's been pretty interesting to sort of read about the careers and the life stories of people. Finishing up a book by my good friend Wayne Embry, who talks about his career in this community, in sports, and changing the world. So I'm just waiting for the sports seasons to open back up.
I like that. That's a great recommendation. John, thank you so much for your time and for all that you do for us. Thank you for really the mentorship you've shown me personally. I'm super grateful, and I'm excited for us to get cracking on another project and to see each other in person, hopefully soon.
Great. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.